Welcome to the Legacy Women Network, a sanctuary for the woman who's done hustling from burnout, hiding her brilliance, or trying to do it all alone. I'm Jess Kiriakou, holistic therapist, business mentor, and founder of this sacred and soulful community. This is your space to show up fully, slow down with intention, and build a business and life that actually feels good, not just looks good on paper. Expect real talk, bold moves, and heart-led strategy from soul-led women creating positive change in the world. If you're ready to rise into your legacy without burning out or doing it all alone, you're exactly where you need to be. Let's dive in. Hey everyone, I was recently honoured to be a guest on the Sovereign Leadership event with Melissa Hiemann, the co-founder of the Centre for Healing, author and creator of 2 modalities. In this excerpt from our chat, we are talking about what it means to truly be an embodied leader, how to build a community that trusts and follows you, and my top tips on overcoming your fear of being seen. This is a brilliant chat. It's going to be short and sweet, and both Mel and I dropped some massive wisdom bombs, so I hope you enjoy this chat.
So we've got the amazing Jess coming on. Jess is a very important part of our community. She's one of our senior practitioners that leads one of our support calls in the root cause therapy training. And she is a healer and a leader in her own community. So welcome, Jess.
Hello, great to be
Welcome.
here.
I wanted to bring you on today for everyone. I think it was day 1. A lot of people were like, but I'm scared of being seen. How do we step into that, especially in leadership? I'm like, don't worry, Jess is coming on day 3 because, as I said, you're the queen of being seen. You help people with that. And I've seen the people in your community just flourish and like show up and be online and be seen and have that visibility where they hadn't had it before. So it's an honor to have you on and to share some of that wisdom. But I want to know, like, what does leadership mean to you?
I love this because I was thinking about this last night and this morning, and it's crazy because all the downloads were coming in. I've literally just flowed with like ages of stuff.
Can I stop you there? Because
Yes.
just talking about intuition. So
Yes.
you, the other day, you said that you had like some quiet space, which we need quiet space and doing nothing sometimes. And you got all these downloads. And one of the things that your soul said was to reach out to Mel to do something with leadership. And was it that night or the next day I just reached out? You hadn't even reached out to me at all. Like your soul told you that.
I had the thought. Yep. So it was the next day.
Yeah. And
so
I reached out and I said, hey, you want to help with the leadership event? And you're like, whoa.
Yeah, I was blown away. I was like, whoa, I literally manifested that. I find I get my best downloads when I'm out in nature. Some of the things I like to do is go for walks, like very mindful walks. So, not having like a podcast in or anything like that, and orienting to the environment. So, just observing, looking at the trees, looking at the sky. I think so often we're so busy and so focused on the next thing. It's like, oh, I have to listen to this podcast. Oh, I have to catch up on that replay. But what it does is it kind of takes us out of that present moment. And it's in that present moment that we're able to really connect to our intuition. Only when we provide ourselves that space. So the other one is having a bath, and most of mine are in the shower. So water. It's really like nature, right? So to answer your question, I feel like anyone can lead. Anyone can lead through control, and we've really seen that a lot through the media recently. I mean, that's historical, right? A lot of our leadership has been through control and through fear, not from a place of love and embodiment, right? But to me, to be an embodied leader, you need to lead yourself first. And like you said, that's leading yourself in all areas of life. We might be able to lead ourselves in business, but we're not truly leading ourselves in our health or parenting. If we're able to lead ourselves, it's really like this flow-on effect. It's a ripple effect. And if we can meet ourselves first, it really impacts our energy for serving and showing up best for those who we are leading. Leaders show up with certainty because they know deeply who they are. They know why they're here and what they're here to do. They've got that clarity and what their vision is. An embodied leader knows who they are, the impact they want to have, and people can really feel that certainty and feel that they're really connected to their purpose. And the thing that I've learned through my journey and especially through growing my community over the years on Instagram is leadership isn't about being perfect. People don't want you to be perfect. True embodied leadership is actually about being vulnerable and sharing your story, sharing your lived experience, sharing all parts of who we are. And that's how we truly connect as humans. We connect through vulnerability. It's really about being real, showing it's okay to make mistakes and to own that and take responsibility for it. And through doing that, you give people permission to be imperfect too. An embodied leader makes bold decisions, they trust themselves, and they know how to hold themselves through the void and the uncertainty whilst taking action towards their vision.
Yeah, being able to hold the uncomfortableness is
because
definitely
that's inevitable, right?
Yeah, exactly. And what inspired you to create your community?
I guess coming back to knowing yourself and knowing who you are, I think it's really important to know your top values. One of my top values is community and connection. Going through social anxiety, bullying in high school, things like that, I felt very alone. And also I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel safe in community. I didn't really feel like I had anywhere that I could feel safe. And so I guess it's through that lived experience that it's just become so, so important to me in every single space that I create, whether it's the root cause therapy support call or my own communities. Like, that is crucial, because coming back to what I said before, people will only be able to let those walls down, take those masks off when they truly feel safe. So it's really about providing the right environment.
Yeah, I love it. So cool. And it's so true. I think our souls bring us into these challenges and hardships to grow so then we can lead others in that space. And it's kind of like that our trauma wasn't in vain. Like, it's actually comes with purpose. And
Yes. Yeah, I love that saying, pain to purpose, because I know that's the case for me, and I see that everywhere in so many of us that come to the Centre for Healing. I'd probably say pretty much all of us are sort of transmuting that pain into now our purpose. It's like, yeah, I went through all this hard stuff, and most of the time we're naturally drawn to helping the past us, people that are going through what we've been through. And once again, that's how we are an embodied leader. People connect deeply to shared lived experience.
yeah, all the information is out there now, like AI, Google. So it's like now they actually want some real connection. And that's why industry is safe, because you can't replace another nervous system. You can't replace someone else's deeply embodied. And that's something that you do beautifully. And, one of the questions for you, like for everyone on the calls, was like, how have you helped your community to feel seen? Can you give any tips if someone wants to walk away from today and maybe feel a little bit safer to be seen?
Number one, if you can find an environment to practice being seen where you feel safe, which is one of the reasons that I created Legacy Women, it's this safe container where you can practice showing up and stepping into your self-leadership and being seen before going to, I guess, what feels like the mountain, which for a lot of people will be going and maybe showing your face on stories or doing a live or maybe doing a podcast that's going to go on YouTube. The other thing I was going to say is lowering the pressure. Instead of trying to go up to the top of the mountain and showing up on Instagram, just going to that first little step of the mountain, we want to take small action steps. So that reduces the subconscious resistance. I think it's fantastic to practice in a safe space and then go out into the next step to put yourself out there, because that builds a lot of confidence. And also, if you're in this safe community where people are going to see you and celebrate you. That helps with confidence. I recommend small action steps. Instead of going to the top of the mountain, for you, it might be literally just putting a photo of yourself on Instagram. Even that might feel really big and scary. So do that little thing, that little stretch, and then next time, the next stretch.
Is that like for your nervous system?
To acclimatize.
It's acclimatizing it. And
Yes.
going, oh,
So
okay, that was safe. Oh, okay,
exactly.
maybe I
And
can do it
provide the
again.
evidence. Yes. It's like the nervous system thermostat. Our nervous system, according to everything that we've been through from, birth generationally to now, is holding all those experiences that are being projected and will come up when you go to take action. So if you're able to bring that right back and just take that tiny little stretch that feels a little bit scary, but still, I can do it, it then provides that evidence and you're like, okay, cool, see, I did it. And then that's building that self-trust. Also, one of the pillars of reparenting is trusting is like doing what you say you're going to do. Because a lot of us have been self-abandoning for a very long time and avoiding and not doing the things that we want to do essentially. Let's just say you're like, oh, I want to get fit. Instead of saying, right, new year, new me, I'm going to go to the gym 7 days a week, bring it right back, and it might be like, you know what? I'm just going to go to the gym 1 day a week. Or you could say it's like, posting on Instagram. Instead of going all gung ho and being like, let's do 7 days a week, just say, I'm going to do 1 day a week. Do the thing. And then you're like, yes, I did it. You feel proud of yourself. And then that confidence is a natural flow on effect of you having that evidence that you can trust yourself, that you do the things that you say you're going to do.
Yeah, that's massive. And again, I think coming from a leadership perspective, that's very important and safe. That when you say you're going to do something, that you do it and you build that over time, and that people that are following you see that. And then people trust you over time and they feel comfortable and safe with you,
Yeah, that's right. And
earned
that's
with yourself and earned with your community.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I've always said to anyone in my community, or anyone that I'm mentoring, just do that one thing. Even if you say post on Instagram once a week, then you're consistent with that. You're building that subconscious trust with your audience, because even though you're only doing that one post a week, at least then you're being consistent. And then you can build from there. It's like the atomic habits, just building those small habits and, growing on that. It's really about sort of that messy, imperfect action and allowing that, right?
I'm all about that imperfect action.
Yeah, me too.
Everything I release is imperfect.
Yep.
And it comes back to even Apple is imperfect. They're constantly doing updates. Every single computer software is imperfect. It's constantly doing updates. People do different versions of their book because they're updated. Everything is imperfect, and it's an evolution of upgrade. So if you wait until it's perfect, again, you're kind of being selfish. You're not sharing your wisdom, your knowledge, because you're scared of childhood stuff like fear of being rejected, it not being good enough, someone saying something bad about it. Someone will, someone will, no matter how perfect it is. All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
When you're putting yourself out there, you've got to realize that there's going to be people who are going to project their stuff. That's just reality, right? But we've got choices online. We can just block them. We can choose to not feed into that energy, not reply. We can curate our feeds. That is taking self-responsibility, right? Rather than being like, oh, there's so much negativity in my feed. Be like, you know what? I'm going to intentionally curate my feed, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to unfollow, remove anyone that's not contributing or raising my vibration.
Yeah.
And by not getting out of our own way, we're doing people a disservice.
That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah. And the third one is regulating before showing up or taking action. So really checking in with yourself, as you said, identifying, knowing what state you are in, what nervous system state, and then using the appropriate tool for that state so you can come back to center. And by taking action from that place, when you're regulated, you're going to be taking action that is aligned with your highest self and your highest good. And that's when the intuition and the downloads are going to come through, right? So using the appropriate tool to shift you back into regulation. And that's when you're able to make the decisions from that place of clarity, and then taking the action. You know, as I said, even if it's like just taking that small step that feels a little bit edgy, and knowing that you'll be able to hold yourself through that. You've got to decide, you've got to make that decision. That's something I've learned over the years and I've done myself that works. Even if I don't feel ready, because the reality is you're never probably going to feel ready, right? When we're growing and we're creating our legacy, stuff's going to feel scary, right? And so you need to decide and then trust that you're going to hold yourself through that void. Hold yourself through that uncertainty. It might be like, I'm going to decide, right, I'm going to post my first Instagram post today. And then, you know, your human body might come up and you're like, oh my God, what's Auntie Jo gonna think? Should I delete it? All that stuff, right? You might have a bit of a spiral. And so then it's choosing to notice that and choosing to regulate and come back to center and be like, you know what? People need to hear this. People need this message. This is bigger than me.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much, Jess.
If this episode lit up something in you, I'd love it if you'd hit subscribe, share it with a sister, or leave a quick review. It helps more women find this space and rise alongside us. You can connect with me over on Instagram at @byjessicak, or learn more about the Legacy Women Network membership through the link in the show notes. See you next time.